Put some fresh stuff in there.
So I have 4 bolts on this, and only 3 are good. One's broken, and then this is all stripped out. So I got to get more bolts. The only thing I know is that it says 8.8 on the head of it, and I know that the bolts are a 1-inch long bolt measured from the underside of the nut, but I don't know the diameter. So I have this little thing where I can go through and try to figure out what diameter it is. So it's a little bit less. That looks like pretty close. That's a 5/16 inch bolt, but when I line it up, the threads don't work out. So I need kind of a finer thread. So here's a 5/16 with 24, so that's 24 threads per inch, and that's closer, but it just doesn't fit. So we'll try again, and now I'm getting into a bigger bolt. So all the silver ones are standard, imperial, and then all the black ones on this are metric. So if I go here and try to size them up, that looks to be right. Now I can check the thread, and those threads match perfectly. So that is the M8 by 1.25, and then I can also screw the bolt in to the back. I think that bolt's a little gummed up. And yeah, let me try another bolt here. Here's the other bolt. That screws in all the way to the underside. So it's a M8 bolt. The thread pitch is 1.25 millimeters, and that's the difference from the top of the thread to the top of the adjacent thread. So when you're using with standard bolts or imperial, they give you the diameter, and then the number 20 here is the number of threads per inch. But when you get to metric, they give you the distance between the threads, so it's the pitch. So here, if I have like this M7 is an M7 1.0, that means every thread is 1 millimeter apart. So I could figure out how many, on the metric bolt, how many threads are per inch for the size that works, which is my 1.25. And then you would just go 25.4 millimeters per inch, divide that by 1.25, and that's going to give you around 21 threads per inch. But that really is of no value. You just need to know it's an M8 bolt, and the pitch is 1.25 millimeters. So I need to get, might as well just get 4 of those, because that one's broken, and I think these threads are galled up as well. This looks a lot better. Just really pulled a lot, but there's a bit of corrosion that's on that, just from, I guess, old gas or bad gas. I guess it's the same. But it's looking a lot better. Just gonna chase these threads and kind of get all the gunk out of them.
Got a broken bolt right here.
It's hard to feel like I won on that one, but I did. So it's the next day, it's been sitting here. So we'll just check, see how the rust is going.
Looks pretty good. So there's a hole in this tank, and I had no idea that there was one. So I think this tank is like no good now, unless I can patch it. Look at patching it, or I guess trying to find a replacement. Looks like this is a Lydon Q. Oh man. All right, plot thickens. So I cleaned it out about a week ago. The, you know, kind of surface rust has come back. I have some rust around here, and I have some rust around here. So I am going to, I guess the biggest thing is, while I was washing it out, I noticed that I have 2 holes right here, and these go all the way through there and there. So I'm going to sand this down. I'm going to seal this tank. Then after that cures, I'll get back in, give this one more treatment, and then I'm going to apply a tank sealer to it and see how that works. I don't know if I'm going to be able to seal up here to prevent rust, but I'll see what I can do. So I got this JB Weld steel stick. It's a 2-part. Okay, I probably should have sanded a little bit more around the limits of the putty, but we'll just try it here. I tried to push it in a little bit so it can get into those holes, and hopefully it can, hopefully it can stay there and lock itself in. So we'll see how it is, then we'll let it cure, and we'll test it, and we'll move on from there. Okay, gonna put tank sealer in. Got this all cleaned out. It looks pretty good. It looks great, actually, from where we started. You can see that. And then I'm gonna put a little bit on the cap because it kind of rusts up, and then try to just put a little bit in here because I don't know why it always rusts up. But here we go. Jeez.
I know this isn't really paint, but I'm just gonna give it a try. Okay, just kind of painted it on then. Now I'm just gonna pour it in. So I already taped up the bottom holes with duct tape. So I'll just keep those things there. Pour most of it in. This is 8 ounces. Okay, now I'm just gonna move it around. Just let it coat everything. And then I'm gonna tape the top up so I can flip it upside down and try to get just everything. So I did the repatch earlier. And then once I get this all coated, I'll continue to flip it. And I'll drain this stuff out. And then just continue to kind of flip it every 15 or 20 minutes and just make sure all the material gets coated 100%. So it looks like it got a good coating. I still see some streaking, so I don't know if I didn't mix it up well enough, but I'm just hoping that'll be kind of good enough. So the other bolts were stripped out on these other two. So I ran a tap through those threads and then got new bolts and made my 125s. This tank just doesn't really line up square with everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back off this bracket, get this bolt to set, get that bolt to set, get those run halfway in, and then I'll tighten this bracket up. Now that bolt lines up perfectly. So I treated the tank with tank seal, and I think it came out pretty good. I don't really see too many issues with it. And then I kind of painted somewhere over here because this area always got rusty. But I think it came out good. Filled it in, rotated it every 15 minutes for several hours to just make sure it gets coated, then drained it all out. And then let it set up. So it's been about a week since I did that, so that should be good. Got it. It's like the truest test of patience ever. Okay, then I have this that I have to get back in. Okay. Not exactly sure what... I know what the screen does, but... All right. I think this is all ready for gas. One thing I want to keep in mind on is I feel like this might kink. I feel like I need to take a bit out of here. All right, I think that's a lot better. That's it. I think she's done.